In this episode, let's create this concrete barrier, this fish pond, this hill and jeep trail to get to the pond. Follow along. Welcome to Mike's HO Scale, where modeling gets real. Because I'm on a budget, I like to make things myself if I can. So if you're a beginner or if you've been in it a while, come on along and maybe we can learn some tips and tricks together. Well, this fish pond I actually got from my mother's fairy garden items that we had put away for quite a while. I dug that out and thought it might fit well here. So just cutting it out, 2-inch foam, and pulling this piece out is the easy part. Getting it to fit in was a little harder, but not bad. Trouble with working with foam is though you got to vacuum it up every time you cut something, or it's just going to get all over the place. It can make a mess, but it's really easy to work with. That's one of the reasons I like using it. Once I got the piece to fit fine, I just left it there and started on this petition for the racetrack. I wanted a large concrete wall here to separate the fish pond from the track. And again, using a little artistic licensing here just to kind of cram it all in together. But all I did was cut this piece of foam out and painted it up the same color as the wall. And I'll glue that in later once I get it to fit. And of course, waiting for paint to dry always takes a long time. So after that, I want to make a mound here. And so I traced it out on the board, roughly what I wanted. It's going to be about 2 inches tall. And trying to make it fit in around the track there too. And the easy part was actually cutting it out here. Just some wax paper laid over the lines I traced out, and then traced it again. So that was pretty simple. Learning from the past, I had to leave room around by the track so the train can get through it, and my camera that I mount on the train, I want to be able to get through as well. And then, of course, tracing out around the pond. It wasn't hard. It just you'll see later the mistake that I made, but that wasn't hard to do. And then, of course, wax paper is easy enough to cut out, and then I can just trace it right onto the foam that I'm using. And I didn't tape this down or anything. I just held it down with my fingers. You had to very lightly trace it around or it would fold up. But I have to make some adjustments on here anyway. And this is just a scrap piece of foam, and I have enough of it. I can make more if I have to. After cutting this out, I have to refit it anyway to figure out where I want certain washouts to be, and that sort of thing. You'll see that in just a second. Of course, cutting this out isn't hard. I don't like to use a heat knife. I don't know, it's just another thing you have to heat up. But then I put the piece back down and tried to figure out where I want the Jeep trail, where I have to slant the banks, where I want the Jeep trail to come out, and make sure it fits against the racetrack retaining wall there as well. And then just hacked away in places that I wanted it, where I wanted to cut off. To shape the banks up against the railroad track right there and make a little washout right there. kind of tried to make it as natural as I could. Making a lot of adjustments in this as I go along, uh, but it was kind of fun to do. Like I said, I like working with this foam, and it has a more natural look to it when I put ground cover on it, and you'll see that. But that's where I want that Jeep trail to go up through right there. And I'll lay a piece on top of this as well. You'll see that also in a second. Then I got it fit into place pretty good. I did make a few more adjustments. I didn't show that, but I really wanted to make sure the box cars and my camera would clear that when it went around. So I did take a little more off just to be safe. And also around the Jeep trail also. I kind of wanted a little more washout, and I couldn't quite figure out where to put it because I'm going to lay another piece on top, like I said. How is that going to lay up next to the pond? I don't know, but I trimmed off a little bit more and put it back on and glued it up. The glue I'm using again is Mod Podge. It just works so well with this. It doesn't eat the foam like some of the Elmer's glues do. You got to be careful which Elmer's glues you work with. But it didn't take much to glue that down. Stick it down, hold it down. I think I put a can on it later to just to keep it and let it set overnight before I worked on the next one. And as you can see, I have lots of scrap left over. Uh, this isn't half of it. I got pieces all over the place. I just thought I'd find one that might fit as close as it did to what it is I actually want to do. I want to fill up most of that flat space anyway, so I need a little larger piece. Something that I'm not going to waste a lot of, because I use this stuff quite a bit for all kinds of dioramas and experimenting. So I don't really want to waste it all. Here I've got one that's partially cut out. I think I can get that to fit in there. That hillside is already cut a little bit, so that's going to work pretty good. I think I can use that one. Tracing it out, it's kind of hard to do that really. I have to think about what I'm doing. Maybe it's easy for you guys, but where am I going to cut that off? And I want that Jeep trail to come up. I had to trim this several times to get it to where I wanted. Just did a lot of cutting with it. It was pretty messy. I like the way it comes up in the back there. The Jeep trail is going to go down and around that farm eventually, just off the end of the airport strip. I know that's all kind of close and tight, but it works well. Then trimming it out just roughing it out in a rough shape just to get it close. I'm going to put it back on the layout again, and I'll do this several times just to keep trimming it down, getting it closer and closer to what I want. It's starting to fit pretty good, but still sticking out over that fish pond. And I need to trim some more off from the right side there. You'll see in the background the rustic houses that I've been making. I had to take that long piece down because the box cars kept hitting one of the roof hangouts. So I got to redesign that and put that back on. In the meantime, I'm just trying to finish off some of the track around here before I do an expansion. So I'm really marking out the cheap trail a little bit more around that fish pond. Try to get it closer, hacking out a lot of it. I think I'm getting it pretty close here. This keyhole saw that I'm using is an old sheetrock saw that I had. It's got a real rough blade on it, so it cuts fast and easy. As long as you have enough space to be able to vacuum up around it afterwards, that foam just flies all over the place. So here I'm going to rough it up a little bit too. That smooth area, I want to rough out and then make a little gouge here, maybe for water to collect in a little mud hole or something eventually. I didn't want the flat, smooth shape to be left over because it looks phony, I think, after that. It's part of the